Welcome to Stephen King Saturday. Now we'll see if this even gets to get uploaded in time, because y'all know. Anyways, tonight we're going to be covering Stephen King's Cat's Eye. And this one is an anthology of sorts. We follow this perspective of this little kitty cat. And he's running around and he encounters three different stories. One in which he's very involved with, and two of which he's just more voyeuristic and is there to observe. But very little on the first one. The second one, he has a little bit more interaction. And then the third one, he's fully there. So the first one, he's actually tortured in the first story, but we'll get there anyway. So this movie starts off, this was written by Stephen King. This starts off with Cujo himself chasing the kitty, and then Christine, the car, driving past, and Christine actually has a bumper sticker that says that it's Christine, and it's really on the nose. Actually, I don't like it. It says something like "be afraid" or like something like "because I'm Christine, like I'm gonna kill you because I'm Christine," or something super fucking lame. I just was like, yeah, we get it. Us horror fans get it. What that is. That's the car. Like, I don't know. It was legitimately just like, it wasn't even just like on the nose, man. It was like it had torn the nose off. It was crazy. Like they didn't need like a necklace around Cujo's throat that fucking had this huge sign that said like "I am the vicious dog Cujo," or anything like that. Or some owner to come out and be like, "Hey, have you seen my dog Cujo? Oh, I think he might have rabies. I think he might kill people." You know what I mean? This is how on the nose the bumper sticker was. It was really dumb. But you get these two quick little ones that are homages to popular Stephen King's works. I didn't notice any others in that opening. I was taking notes. I was writing that shit down. So maybe I missed it, but those are the two I caught. Is there another one? Then we get the cat getting a vision, which is kind of interesting to me because I guess it plays into how the film plays out. So maybe that's why it doesn't get as much shit. But the amount of shit I've heard about this Hills Have Eyes Part 2 dog flashback scene, this cat has a straight up fucking vision of a kid who's calling out to it to come save her. Now, what that even is and what that... I have no idea. And Drew Barrymore plays a lot of characters in this film. She's even titled as, or credited as, our girl in the credits. But she plays James Woods' daughter. She plays the girl who's calling out to him to save her, which I'm guessing is supposed to be that character, or I have no idea. She also plays the little girl on the commercial on the TV, I think. And then she plays, of course, the main girl at the end of the most popular segment of the film. But she's in a lot of different shit in this. But the first story is about James Woods' character getting some help for his smoking addiction. So he goes to Quitters Incorporated, and they have some very, very hardcore tactics of how they're going to get you to quit smoking. And the people that are in the building are like freaking the fuck out. They look like they're on heroin. It's pretty ridiculous, pretty over the top. Even though cigarettes are supposed to be like the hardest fucking thing to quit there ever was. And I did smoke, actually. I believe it or not, I smoked many, many, many years ago. And the way I quit was I was smoking a cigarette. In case you don't know how people smoke cigarettes. And my girlfriend at the time came in the room and she said she wanted to quit smoking. And I was like, why? And she was like, because I want to live a long life with you. And I'd like to, I'd like you to be around for that too. So I'd like you to quit smoking. And that was logical to me. and logic always wins out. So I put that shit down and never did it again, and that was it for me. But yeah, we didn't work out, but I'm still alive, and so is she. So maybe we wouldn't have been had I not listened to her. So even though we did not spend that together, I am healthy to my knowledge, and yeah, but that was it for me. But I don't know. I'm not trying to belittle anybody's, recovery or how hard it is to quit, because that's not the case. There's things I've definitely struggled with myself, but quitting drinking and quitting alcohol was no problem for me personally, and I drank like a motherfucker, right? Bad, bad, bad. But just I got myself a DUI, and I had to do 10 days in jail, and an interlock ignition device on my car, and like 14 weeks of this AA type thing. I forget what they even called that shit. It was awful. And then I had to take this like 8-hour defensive driving course, and I had to pay this insane fine, and I had that interlock ignition thing in my car for an entire year. I don't know if I specified the amount of time that was in there, but it was brutal. And while I was in jail, I just sat there and I was thinking about it, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is like one of those rare times where jail actually reformed somebody into not doing what they got caught for ever again in their entire life. I was done. I was sitting in there and I was just like, you really want to be like this? Is this what you want your life to be like? So that helped me big. And getting a DUI was actually one of the greatest things that ever happened to me in my entire life. If you would have asked me back then if I thought it was great, I would have slapped you across the face, because of course I was very unhappy with having to do everything I had to do, but holy shit did it help. But this guy goes in here, and they have, as I said, some pretty strong tactics, and they start shocking a cat in front of him, which is our main cat here, and he goes after the guy. I'd straight up kill this guy. Like, I'm not fucking with you. This isn't hyperbolic. This isn't whatever. I would at least beat the fuck out of you badly. And then I would go and get that cat out of there. But he goes after him, so good on him. Although then he does say, like a second later, he's like, you can barbecue as many cats as you want, just let me out of here. So I don't know about that. But he does try to save. I couldn't imagine. I heard one story. I'll never say it in my life. I've never uttered the words out loud, and I never will. But there was one story someone told me in beauty school about somebody who they worked with at like a pet the Pound Humane Society kind of place, and he walked in on this guy doing something to the animals. As I said, I won't say, and he was like telling the story like it was some funny anecdote, and I was like, this is the most evil story I've ever heard in my entire life, and why you think this is even slightly funny is beyond me, and I'm the guy who will fucking joke about literally anything. I was like, if I walked in on this guy doing what he was doing in that moment, I do not think I'd be able to hold back killing him. Like, anybody who could do something like what I heard is so goddamn evil. There's no way this person is like good. There's no way that this person isn't doing more. Not that this wasn't horrible. This was Jesus Christ. But there's no way that this person is sane and should be part of our society. Like, none. Zero. So anyway, but yeah. Oh shit. I'm kicking my camera. This fucking tripod is way too close to me, and when I want to cross my legs, I get very fidgety. Because believe it or not, I actually get anxiety when I do these videos sometimes. After all these videos. Thousands of fucking videos now. But that's not because of the video. I'm not nervous about doing this at all. Not one bit. Not one teeny tiny little bit. No, I just get anxiety because I get anxiety. And I know everybody wants me to do that anxiety video. And one day I will sit down. But the reason I haven't done it is because I want it to be right. And I want it to reach the people that I want, that need to hear it. And I want it to affect them in a way that's positive. and I don't want to just half-ass the video. So, but I'll probably just wing it one day, like I always do. Let's be honest. Anyway, and then he basically just threatens his family and is like, "We're gonna always be watching you." And then James Woods starts seeing them everywhere. He sees them in the food that he looks at. He sees them like on posters or paintings, and the eyes are coming alive. People have smoke coming out of their fucking ears, like, because it's so ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous segment. And then he does end up sneaking a cigarette, and they catch him. He thinks he's going to get away with it, obviously. And then they bring his wife in, start shocking the shit out of her. This completely reforms him. And the next time we see him, he's coming out and he's actually like chummy. He's best friends with these guys. Like, yes, I'm so glad that you did this. I'm so much better. And they have like full control over his life now. Like, not only now have they done the cigarette thing, but now he's like, you can't go over 165 pounds. Otherwise, we're going to cut the fucking pinky finger off of your wife. And he thinks it's a big joke until he goes home to have dinner with his wife and his, friends. And they've been in the program as well. And when they go to toast, the other guy's wife is missing her pinky finger, so he realizes like how dead serious they are, which I don't understand why he would ever think that was a joke. They fucking electrocute cats and then kidnapped his wife in the middle of the night and fucking grabbed and put her in a room and started electrocuting her. Like, why in any way, shape, or form would this guy think that these guys are kidding about cutting off his wife's finger? This makes no sense to me. He's like, oh, you kill me, that's so funny that you think you... Because he thinks they're friends now? Because he thinks that it was just for smoking and as long as he doesn't smoke? Like, if that guy said that to you after what he's done, no matter how chummy you were, you would definitely be like, okay, I'm scared. And, I'm not going to be surprised when I find out this is true. So that part's pretty stupid to me. They also, when they're in the smoking thing, they say they're going to electrocute his wife first. Second cigarette is they're going to electrocute his daughter. Third cigarette is that they're going to rape his wife. And the fourth cigarette, they're going to kill him. So I guess it's 4 strikes and you're out in this old ball game. But rape your wife. His wife is fucking beautiful in this movie too. Rape your wife. God damn, that's hardcore, man. That's hardcore. We're going to rape your wife if you smoke a third cigarette. Woo! Damn. Unfortunately, I mean, I of course would never condone this, and I don't think anyone should ever do this. But I feel like this right here is the only way some people would quit. What I witnessed here. Like, we're gonna fucking shock your wife, your kid, and then rape your wife and kill you. Like, and some people are so selfish that it would only be the killing one that would really affect them very much. But who knows? Some people are just full-blown addicts to the point where, like, I'd rather do this and then die than not do this and live. So, anyway. But yeah, as I said, I'm not condoning it, but this would work on some people. Not all people. Some people, I just don't think you can get them to quit because they don't want to quit. I know people seem to think that these people want to quit a lot. Most people who don't quit don't want to quit. And what I mean by that, to clarify before people get angry, is that they feel like they need to quit. Like, oh, it's fucking up my life. Oh, it's, ruining my relationships. Oh, it's gotten me fired from my job. It's wrecking my body. It's whatever. So, I want to stop doing it because of that. Because of that is what to focus on. They don't want to stop because they want to stop. They don't have any, it's not like they don't have any interest in it anymore. It's like, fucking drugs to me sound terrible. I don't want to do that anymore. Like, it just doesn't sound appealing. I don't like the way it makes me feel. That would be one thing. If somebody started talking like that, they're going to quit. But if it's like, oh man, I really want to keep drinking, but look how much it's fucking up my life. Those people rarely quit. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. It's because they don't want to stop. They just want the bad things that happen because of it to go away. So they'll try to stop for those things. But at the end of the day, they don't actually want to quit doing what they're doing. They just want to quit having the repercussions of doing what they're doing. They want all the benefits, none of the downsides. So, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And I'll tell you this, too, from personal experience. And this is kind of done in this movie a little bit. His friends that he tells he's quitting to, they don't want him to quit. They're like, whatever, take a cigarette. Here you go. And he's like offering him a cigarette. This is 100% true. When I was quitting drinking, every fucking person in my life who drank with me did not want me to quit. I was a full-blown, pathetic, alcoholic loser whose body was fucking falling apart. My life was falling apart around me. And I came to everyone and I was like, I'm not drinking anymore. And I'm a bull-headed son of a bitch. So when I say I'm not doing something anymore, I'm not fucking doing it anymore. And I don't care what happens. But these people were not supportive. Not one motherfucking bit. Okay? Like, you think, and those are not your friends. Those are not your friends. Your real friends will support your decision. Your fake friends, which is most people, will be like, oh, you don't mean that. Here, just have a drink with me. I had a guy try to fist fight me because I would not have a drink with him. He's like, what, are you too good for your drink? Like, oh, you can have one more drink. What's one more gonna have? And this and that. And then he kept pushing it. And he kept pushing it. And he's like, give me one fucking good reason why you can't drink with me right now. Like, give me one good reason you should quit. And he was drunk. And I was like he looked like shit. He was all slobbering. And I just looked at him and I was like, because I don't want to end up like you. Ooh, fists started fucking flying, man. And I was just like, bro, you're drunk. I will beat the fuck out of you. I have such an advantage. The only advantage he had over me is that he wasn't going to feel as much as I was going to feel. But he had no fucking balance. He had no nothing. And I just gently put that guy down. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway. The point being is that people do not support it. But fuck them. You don't need their support. You don't need their support. You only need your support. Know that you want it to be done and be done with it. And no matter what anybody else says, they can go fuck themselves. They don't have your body and they don't have your goddamn life. So that shit used to piss me off something awful. But I'll tell you this. I never talk to any of those fucking people again. And I don't miss not one motherfucking one of them. And guess what? Every single one of those people, because this is a small town, still drink like that all the fucking time. And they look like shit. They look awful. You know? And I'm not trying to fucking sit here and pat myself on the back or suck my own dick or whatever. But I look pretty goddamn good for almost 40 years old. And that's because I decided to stop drinking and stop smoking and take care of myself. So as I said, I'm not here to just... What I'm pointing out is that if you have an issue, if you have a problem, don't rely on your friends to help you. Because a lot of them only care about themselves and the next party that you can have with them. It's all self-serving bullshit. So, really think about that. It's you, and only you, that's going to get you through this kind of shit. There's support systems and there's people that can help. But at the end of the day, it's you. It's always you. Anyways, very preachy tonight, I suppose. But a lot of this deals with addiction, and this deals with tough love addiction treatment. And there was no more tough love treatment on anybody than me on myself. So, you know, I do feel like this is something I can speak on. And I know that there's a lot of people who have gotten comments from in the comments sections about like, dude, I struggle with addiction, or I did struggle with addiction, and I was watching your videos and it really helped me, and I'm fucking like honored that I could help in any goddamn way. You know? But it's you. I might have had some little, you know, moment in your ear that you're like, ooh, okay, this is a distraction, or he said the right thing in this moment and it helped, or whatever. That's awesome. That's fantastic. But it's you that did it. 100%. Anyway, alright. So that's the end of that story. Then the next story is a guy who will bet on anything, and he initially bets on the cat, which is kind of interesting because it's the opposite of what the second bet is. But he bets this guy that the cat's going to get across the road and he's going to live, and the other guy bets against him dying, which the girl's like not for it. She's like, oh, come on. And then as soon as the money seems to maybe be going her way, then all of a sudden she's trying to coax the cat across the road to die so that she can be in on the $2,000 that's just going to go to the guy. Like, how much of that she going to actually see? Probably not much, if at all. So I don't really know why she cares, but whatever. And then the dude who bet for the cat to survive kind of coaxes it by being like, now go, and the cat actually listens to him and he survives because of it. I don't understand this. I don't understand any of this stuff. I don't understand why Drew Barrymore's character, that isn't really Drew Barrymore's character, is calling her to save her from this thing that she hasn't even seen yet, didn't even know was there until she got to the house. So who knows? Stephen King was on a lot of fucking cocaine. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, so they bet on this, the cat lives, and then we are introduced to the guy from Airplane, and also the gas guy or whatever from Dumb and Dumber, who's been in a bunch of stuff. Mike Starr, I want to say is his name. I've seen him in so much shit. But yeah, this is very reminiscent and similar to Something to Tide You Over from Creepshow, which is also on this little disc here. Now I have the legit Creepshow, which is this beauty right here. Right there. Ooh, look at that. Look at this beauty right here. Oh, this is such a beautiful set, man. I'm telling you what. But anyway, I even got the Creepshow 2 Arrow Blu-ray as well. But yeah, this just reminds me very much of that. It's basically like the rich guy finds out that this younger dude is banging his wife, and then he puts him in an impossible to win scenario, which the guy does end up winning. In, of course, Creepshow, Wentworth cannot get out of it, and him and his wife die. Well, Leslie Nielsen's wife. But yeah, they end up dying, but they get revenge, right? And this guy does the same thing. He puts him in the exact same scenario, gets the revenge, and he ends up dying, just like Leslie Nielsen's character does as well. Harry? Yeah, wait. Wentworth and Harry. Or is it? Yeah, those are the names. Anyway. Is it backwards, though? I don't know. But, no, it's not. Moving on. But that's just very similar. And this whole, like, traveling around the building is pretty thrilling. I think it's pretty good. You definitely wonder. You know he's probably going to get around, though. But all the shit the guy's doing to him, hitting him with, like, a fire hose, and, coming at him and like slapping him with shit and like trying to get him to fall off. It's so fucked up. And then there's the little bird who comes up and is pecking on him, and then of course that's the bird that ends up killing the rich dude. But when he finally makes his way all the way back around, there's a bag with money and his girlfriend's head in it. And the guy was, of course, reneging on the deal, and he ends up getting the gun. And this has to do with the cat, right? Try to remember if... Wait. Yeah. Oh, god damn, dude. I cannot stop kicking this camera. I'm so fidgety. Doesn't matter where it is. Anyways, he kills him. He gets the gun. He shoots him. The guy who had the gun, and then he puts the guy out on the ledge, and boom. He has to go around. He gets pecked on, and he is done for. Yeah, the gas guy is in this one. He's the one that brings him to him. And then let's see. And then and then this is where we move on over to the final segment, the more popular segment of this, and it's really just this cat trying to protect Drew Barrymore from this monster. And the monster effects are fantastic. I think the creature effects and whatever they had to do with the animatronics or puppetry work or whatever the fuck it is, it's incredible. It really looks great. And like the big, the way he's small, and so the whole room is to his scale, and the way they like composite it all in there and shoot, it's really well done. It's actually pretty damn impressive, I have to say. So yeah, I give that stuff a big thumbs up. This whole story feels like it was made for children. This whole fucking, almost this entire film, especially like the music that plays, like the Cats theme song, that is like something straight out of a kid's movie. It actually reminded me of a movie, but I'm kind of blanking on what movie I think that it sounded like. It was like, oh, that when I just did that sounded like fucking Lord of the Rings. That's funny. The second time I did that sounded nothing like Lord of the Rings. In fact, I'm sure both of them did not sound like Lord of the Rings to you guys at all. But the first one definitely did sound like Lord of the Rings when I started doing it. But I swear there was another movie, but I can't fucking remember what it was. How lame! But yeah, the FX are really cool. It can open up the wall and close it really quick, like a little Tom and Jerry mouse hole, conveniently placed mouse hole in the wall. And then yeah, the mom thinks that the cat killed the bird, so she takes the cat to the pound to be put down, which is brutal. And then the cat breaks out, comes back, and we only get 2 nights of this. It's not like it goes on for multiple nights. And then yeah, they get into a fight. The cat knocks the monster into the fan. It blows up. The mom comes in and is like, "You can't tell anyone." Now, and she's like, "But mom, I want to keep the cat and let her sleep in my room." She's like, "That's blackmail." And then the movie ends. What a stupid ass joke to end on. But I feel like Drew Barrymore's character could have just got out of bed and stomped that fucking thing to death, and it would have definitely sped things up a lot. So but I guess the whole point of this creature is that it comes and steals her breath. And then there's the Sting song, or the Police song, "Every Breath You Take," on the little vinyl, which was cute, but I would have preferred "Every Breath You Take." That would have been funnier. Although I don't know if that song was out by this point. I think it was, because this is actually later on, isn't it? Isn't this like 90? Yeah, Cat's Eye is only PG-13, which makes perfect sense to me, because it really is not all that graphic. It's PG-13, so it would have to be past 1986 I'm gonna guess 90. Let's see. It says Dreamcatcher 2003, Dolores Claiborne 1996, Stephen King's Cat's Eye 1985, Creepshow 1982. This is 85. This does not feel like 85, and I don't see how that's possible because it says PG-13 here, and the first PG-13 movie wasn't until Red Dawn, which I think was 86, wasn't it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up that day, but was the Every Breath You Take song out by that point? That's the good question. But the Sting song is fine as well. And the Cats kills it. The Cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. And the parents believe, and that cat gets himself a nice old fish to chomp on for saving their kid's life, and all is well. It's such a goofy film. Definitely not one of the better Stephen King films. Yeah, I don't know. I think the trip around the building is the most interesting part. I think the cats against the monster is probably the most memorable part, and the smoking thing is just all around silly, over the top, and just goofy as fuck. But whatever. I'm glad I covered it. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so this is basically like a first time watch. I couldn't remember the other two segments at all. I remember the Cat's Eye. The cat segment with Drew Barrymore really well, like almost identical. Like nothing was new to me in that. It was weird. I was just like, for some reason, that's always stuck with me. But maybe because it was a kid and I was a kid, so I related to the kid, and I was just like, oh my god, this thing gonna come into my room and try to fucking kill me at night. Okay, I never got scared of horror movies. Let's be honest, but I don't know. I resonated with her. This was back even before I was in love with her, like I was when I was in high school. Drew Barrymore was my everything, but not at this age, I promise. Anyway, guys, yeah. So, for anyone out there dealing with addiction and anxiety and everything, trust me, you're not alone. Not by a fucking long shot. So, stay strong. Adios.